The Mountain's Blessing, a tale of true love. This story weaves a captivating tale of transformation, self-discovery, and love. Set in a rich village in Angola, it explores the journey of a young woman who, despite her carefree nature and disregard for societal expectations, comes to learn that love cannot be forced or rushed. The divine intervention she seeks leads her down an unexpected path, showing her that true love was always by her side, waiting to be noticed. Through the lens of African folklore, this narrative delves into themes of beauty, ego, and the power of a love that transcends appearances. In a peaceful, wealthy village nestled in the hills of Angola, there lived a girl named Amina. She was known for her joyful spirit, her love for good food, and her easygoing nature. Amina, although bigger than most girls her age, was comfortable with herself. She loved her life, her family, and the peace that came with spending afternoons under the shade of a tree, playing games with children, or enjoying the fresh fruits of the season. Her parents adored her. They never pressured her to change, for they knew their daughter was kind, generous, and confident in who she was. As Amina grew older, however, she noticed that the other girls in her village started to receive attention from boys. Her friends got married one by one, moving into homes of their own, but Amina remained unmarried. The young men of the village didn't see her as a potential wife, but that didn't bother her, at least not at first. She would laugh off their disinterest, certain that her time would come. She believed in herself and knew that love wasn't something to rush. Her mother often reassured her, saying, "The right man will come, Amina. Love finds us when we least expect it." But as the years passed, Amina started to feel the weight of being left behind. All her friends were now mothers, wives, and she was still alone. Even though she loved herself, there were moments when loneliness crept in. There were whispers in the village, comments from neighbors who wondered why a girl as beautiful on the inside as Amina wasn't married yet. "Maybe she's too comfortable," they said. "Maybe her size scares the boys away." These words, though not often said to her face, began to wear on her spirit. Still, there was one person who never looked at her any differently. Her childhood friend, Bakari, had always been by her side. He was quiet, but whenever he was around, Amina felt understood. Bakari was gentle and kind, always treating her the same way, whether she was laughing loudly or sitting quietly by herself. Amina had always seen him as a friend, nothing more. One evening, after another long day of hearing about weddings and family gatherings, Amina sat by the river, thinking. For the first time, doubt clouded her mind. "Maybe I do need to change," she whispered to herself. "Maybe I'm asking for too much." And so, in a moment of desperation, she decided to visit the god of the mountain. The elders spoke of this god's powers, of how he could grant miracles to those who truly sought them. Amina wasn't one for magic, but that night she felt it was her only hope. The next morning, Amina climbed the steep path to the sacred mountain. Upon reaching the top, she called out, "O great God of the mountain, I come before you not to change who I am, but to help me find a husband who will love me for me. If I need to change my appearance to find love, then so be it." To her surprise, the god answered. His voice was deep and echoed through the valley. "I can grant you this wish, Amina. You will become the most beautiful woman in your village, but know this, the beauty I give you will not last forever. When the time comes, you will return to who you truly are. Are you sure you wish for this?" Amina hesitated, but her desire for love was strong. She agreed. Days passed, and as promised, Amina's body began to change. She lost weight, her skin glowed, and soon she became the most admired woman in the village. The young men who once ignored her now lined up to speak with her. They brought her gifts, they sang her praises, and Amina felt a new sense of power. But with every compliment, her confidence turned into pride. She began to think, now they see me. Now they all want me. Bakari, her loyal childhood friend, was still by her side, but Amina noticed something strange. He hadn't changed the way he looked at her. Even after her transformation, Bakari treated her with the same kindness as always. This annoyed Amina. How dare he, she thought. I am beautiful now, and he still sees me as the same old Amina. She distanced herself from him, refusing to answer his calls and avoiding him in the village. Her ego grew as suitors from far and wide came to woo her. But Amina was not easily pleased. She wanted more than just admiration. She wanted to be truly moved. So she announced a contest. The best storyteller, the one whose story could stir her heart, would win her hand in marriage. Men from all corners of the region gathered to participate. For 7 nights, they told tales of heroism, love, and adventure, hoping to win Amina's favor. But none of their stories touched her heart. On the final night, as the contest neared its end, Amina began to feel strange. A discomfort grew in her body, and she excused herself to the riverbank where she had once sat, pondering her future. As she looked down at her reflection in the water, horror struck her. Her appearance had changed back. She was no longer the slim, glowing woman the village had admired. She was the same Amina she had always been, the Amina she had once loved. Panicking, she considered fleeing, but something stopped her. She remembered her true desire wasn't to be admired for her beauty. It was to be loved for who she was. Gathering her courage, she returned to the village, ready to face the suitors. When they saw her, many were shocked. The men who had praised her beauty now looked away. Some left without a word. Amina's heart sank, but she held her head high. Finally, the last storyteller approached. He wore a traditional mask and played a soft rhythm on a drum. His voice was calm as he began his story, a tale about a boy who had loved the same girl for many years. No matter how she changed on the outside, his love for her remained the same because he saw her heart. His words were simple, but they pierced through Amina's pride. She felt her heart tremble, for she knew the story was about her. The other suitors stared at the storyteller in disbelief, thinking him blind. With her heart pounding and the crowd in silent anticipation, with tears in her eyes, Amina stood up. I will take this storyteller as my husband if he wishes, she said. The crowd gasped as the storyteller removed his mask. It was Bakari, her faithful childhood friend. Everyone was stunned. They all knew him. He was the prince of a neighboring village, known for his honor and valor, but she had only known him as her childhood friend. Amina's heart raced as she realized the truth. He had loved her all along. Bakari smiled gently. I will marry you, Amina, because I have always loved you for who you are. At that moment, Amina understood the lesson the mountain god had tried to teach her. True love had been beside her all along, not in the eyes of the men who admired her beauty, but in the heart of the one who saw her soul. Bakari and Amina married, and she lived happily with him, always loved in every form she took. The lesson of the story is that true love is not based on physical appearance or fleeting beauty. but on deep connection, understanding, and seeing someone's true self. The girl learns that external beauty is temporary, and the love she sought had always been present in the form of her childhood friend, who loved her for her character and soul. In the end, she realizes that real love values inner qualities like kindness and compassion over superficial traits. The story teaches the importance of self-awareness, humility, and recognizing the value of enduring love over temporary admiration.